In this video, we are going to learn how you can validate email in ZeroBounce on Google Form submission. So the idea here is that you have created a contact form using your Google Forms account. Now you want that whenever the form is filled, first of all, the email address of the customer should be validated using your ZeroBounce account, and if the email address is a valid email address, then only the customer should be added as a new contact to your HubSpot CRM application. For that, you need to integrate Google Forms with ZeroBounce application and then with HubSpot CRM also. So how you can set up this automation? For that, you need to come to my screen. To validate email in ZeroBounce on form submission and to create a contact in HubSpot, first we need to log into Pabbly.com. This is the website of Pabbly. Here we can find two options: sign in, sign up free. If you are a new user, you have to simply click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes. And you're going to get free tasks every month. If you're already a user of Pabbly Connect, simply sign in. From the All Apps section, access Pabbly Connect. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, click on this plus sign, create workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as validate email in ZeroBounce on form submission. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, first of all, we want to validate the email in ZeroBounce whenever the form is submitted. And then we want to create a contact in our HubSpot CRM also. So first we need to integrate our form application with Pabbly Connect. So just open this trigger window and here we are going to choose the application name as Google Forms, as I have created a contact form in my Google Form account. So not only Google Forms, you can use any form building software application over here to create a connection. Okay. Now here we have to select the trigger event as new response received. Now here we can see a webhook URL and some instructions. So by following these instructions, you can set up the webhook in your specific Google form. So let us read few of the instructions. Google Forms responses are collected in Google Sheets. So follow the below steps in order to get the new response. Go to the form on which you want to take the submission and make the last question as required for the trigger. Okay. So I'll just take you to the contact form which I have already created using my Google Forms account. Okay. So this is a contact form where I'm collecting the details of the customer, that is his first name, his last name, his email address and the phone number. And as it was mentioned in the instruction, we have to make the last question as required for the trigger over here. So simply make this last question as mandatory, as required field over here. Okay. So now as the Google Form responses are collected in Google Sheets, let's move to the responses tab. And here you can see I don't have any responses. So first of all, let us collect the responses by clicking on this I button. So let us fill in the details on behalf of the customer over here. First name of the customer as demo, last name as customer itself. Here I'm just going to add the email address of the customer. And let's add the phone number. And let's click on submit. Thanks for submitting your contact info. So the form has been filled. Now let's move back to our Google Forms. And here we can see that one response is received. Okay, and all the details of the customer through the form submission are captured over here. As the Google Form responses are collected in Google Sheets, we are just going to click on this 3 dots. And here we have to click on select response destination. Now here it is asking us to create a new spreadsheet or you want to select the existing spreadsheet. So I would be creating a new spreadsheet and the name would be contact form responses. If you want to change the name, you can just change the name of the spreadsheet from here. Okay. And now let's click on create. Linking to spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is linked. Now to access the spreadsheet, we have to click on this green sign view responses in sheets. Okay, and here we can see that all the form submission details are captured over here. We can find the timestamp, first name of the customer as demo, last name as customer. Here we can find his email address and the contact number. So now we want to capture this particular response in Pabbly Connect. And for that, we have to just click on extensions, add-ons and click on get add-ons. Now it will take us to Google Workspace Marketplace. Here we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Now you have to install Pabbly Connect Webhooks on your system. As you can see that it is already installed on my system, I'm just going to close this window. But remember, after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks on your system, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. I repeat, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. Now again come to extensions, and this time we have to move to Pabbly Connect Webhooks and click on Initial Setup. Now here it is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So here we have to paste the webhook URL that we have seen in Pabbly Connect. So I'll be simply copying this webhook URL from here and I'll be pasting the same over here. And now here it is asking for the trigger column. The trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here you can see I have the data from column A till column E and I want the data to be captured till column E. So I'll be making the trigger column as column E over here. Okay. So if you have the data till column H and you want the data to be captured till column H, then you have to give the trigger column as column H over here. Okay. And now let's click on send test. Test data sent successfully. Okay, and now let's click on submit. Setup configured successfully. Okay, now let's close this window. Again, we have to come to extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and this time you have to click on send on event. So why we are selecting this option? Just because next time whenever the form will be filled, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the form submission details. Okay, we don't have to link these details again and again. So simply make sure you have a tick mark on send on event option over here. Okay, you can find the tick mark over here. So now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And here when we scroll down, we can find that the responses received and all the details of the form submission are captured over here. We can find the spreadsheet name, sheet ID, here we can find the sheet name, and here we can find the row index as 2, and here the customer details are captured. That is his phone number, first name, last name, and his email address. So now first of all, we want to validate this particular email address that we have got from our form submission. And for that, we are going to use ZeroBounce. So let's integrate ZeroBounce with Pabbly Connect. Click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here choose the application name as ZeroBounce. Select the action event as validate email. Click on connect. Click on add new connection. And now it is asking for the API key. Log into your ZeroBounce account. You can find your API key from API keys and info, your API keys. So I'll directly take you to my ZeroBounce account. And here on the left hand side, we can find API keys and info option. Click on it. And here we have to simply click on your API key. And here we have to just click here to get started. Click on this hyperlink that is here. And here we can find the master key. So I'm just going to copy this API key and I'll be pasting the same over here. And now let's click on save to create a connection. And now the ZeroBounce account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the email address that needs to be validated. So here we will be mapping the email address that we have got from our form submission over here. Okay. So for mapping, we have to simply scroll down, click it over here, come to the Google Form trigger response, and from the drop down, we are going to find the email address of the customer. And now to validate it, let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see that the response is received and in the response we have got the status as valid. It means this particular email address is a valid email address. So now here we have a condition that if the email address of the customer is valid, then only the customer details should be added to our HubSpot CRM as a new contact. And for that, we are going to apply a filter over here. So let's scroll down and click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here we are going to choose the application name as filter. So basically, filter is a if condition. If this particular condition satisfies, then only the workflow should run further. So here we have to select the label. So here we have to come to validate email response. And from here, we are going to map the status valid. Okay. So if the status is equal to valid. So let us enter the details as valid in the value. And now let's click on save and send test request just to check the condition. So here we have got the response status success message condition is true. So why the condition is true? Just because the status of the email address is valid that we have received from our ZeroBounce response. Okay. So now we want to add the customer details to our HubSpot CRM. So let's integrate HubSpot CRM with Pabbly Connect. So just add an action step and here choose the application name as HubSpot CRM. Select the action event as create a contact. Click on connect. Click on add new connection. And click on connect with HubSpot CRM. Now it is connecting Pabbly Connect to HubSpot CRM. It is asking me to choose an account. So here I'm just going to choose my account. Authorization successful. And now the HubSpot CRM account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here we'll be mapping the details of the new contact that needs to be created in our HubSpot CRM. So first of all, here we'll be selecting the status as active. Okay, let's scroll down. Lead status as new in my case. You can select the lead status as per your requirement. and here we'll be entering the details. So now here we have to map the details of the customer, that is his first name. So here we'll be mapping the details that we have got from our trigger response through the form submission. So come to Google Forms and from the drop down, let us find the first name of the customer. Here we have to map the last name, that was customer itself. Again, here we have to map the email address. So let us find it from Google Form trigger response. And let's scroll down, and here we'll be mapping the phone number of the customer. Okay, so we have mapped all the details. Now, if you're having some other details of the customer, you can just simply map it over here. Okay, let's scroll down, and now we are going to click on Save and Send Test Request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received. It means a new contact is created in our HubSpot CRM. Let's check it. And this is my HubSpot CRM contact list. Okay, and here you can see I don't have any records. Now let's refresh our HubSpot CRM account. Okay, and here we can find our new contact details added. The name of the customer as demo customer. Here we can find his email address, his phone number. So in this way, we can see that our integration is working fine. Okay, so let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay. So we have set up an automation. This is a one-time process. Next time, whenever the Google form will be filled, automatically based on form submission details, first the email address of the customer will be validated. And if the email address is a valid email address, then only the contact will be added to your HubSpot CRM account. So now we are going to check this in the real time that whether our integration is actually working fine or not. For that, let's move to the Google form once again. And here I'm just going to open the form so that we can fill in the details on behalf of some other customer. Let's give the customer name as dummy customer this time. Let's give the email address of the customer. And let's add the phone number. Click on Submit. Thanks for submitting your contact info. So the form has been filled. Now let us check whether the contact is added into our HubSpot CRM as a new contact or not. Let's refresh it. Okay, and here we can see a new customer details are added over here. Name of the customer as dummy customer. Here we can find his email address and the phone number. So in this way, we can see that our integration is perfectly working fine. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And now I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. So first we have created an integration between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect so that whenever the form is filled, automatically the form submission details are captured in Pabbly Connect. Then we have added the action step of ZeroBounce to validate the email address of the customer that we have received through the form submission. Then we have applied a filter over here just to check the condition that this particular workflow should run further only if the email address of the customer is a valid email address. And then we have added a new contact into our HubSpot CRM account. And in this way, we have learned that how we can validate email in ZeroBounce on form submission, and we can create a new contact in HubSpot CRM using Pabbly Connect. Thank you.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. In case you have any queries, you can just post your queries at Pabbly Forum. Our team will surely get back to you. This is our Pabbly Connect website, and to know the latest updates and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is pabbly.connect. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is attached in the description box. You can clone this workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.